I bought this game yesterday called Strange Loves Vampire Boyfriends. Are you excited?
I I don't know what to make of that, but it sounds exciting.
It's a visual novel about a young lady who is in her final year of college, and she, may or may not fall in love with a vampire depending on the choices that you make.
There's gonna be hentai in this, isn't there?
I don't think so. It's
I
on.
want to see some vampire boobs.
No,
drawn.
she's not a vampire.
I want to see some non-vampire boobs.
I want to see any boobs.
Let's bring on the boobs.
You're on the internet, dude. Just go look at boobs then.
Oh yeah, let me just Google boobs for a second.
Yeah, there's like some licensed music here. I'm just gonna assume that it's not gonna get me copyright fucked on YouTube, but that's okay. Just so you know, if you didn't already catch on, this is not a normal book. It's better. Much better. Because in a normal book, the only way you can participate in the story is by turning the page. Fuck you, Tolstoy! Strange Love Vampire Boyfriends shits all over your shitty archaic art form. But with a Strange Loves book, you get to choose your path through the story. Blah, 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 blah. Shall we get started? I think so. So we're gonna choose a name. Is Michael L. Fox here yet?
He's in here. All you did.
Oh my god, what was that?
Whoa.
You just. Whoa.
Like an alien is taking over.
Yeah, what happened there?
We just got XCOM'd.
Did you accidentally just like prank call someone and tell them you were gonna sexually assault them or murder them, and then you forgot to take the thing off the end of your phone?
Yes. What?
Mike, you gotta
Oh, that's
figure this
bad.
out, man.
Not even like the normal we're out of bandwidth robot, like death robot.
Yeah, it sounds like you have like a sock on your mic. Like 20 socks, actually.
Made of
You
metal.
have all the socks.
Alright, Nick, why don't you give me a name here? Might I suggest something, silly, so that we get the added humor of like, he leaned in close to Boob Face and then whispered in her ear.
Can you name her Pussy Lips McGee, or is that too long?
You know what? I will name her Pussy Lips.
Alright.
I don't want to give her a last name necessarily. This is already pretty misogynistic. Let's get
What if
started here.
necessarily was her last name?
Maybe her name, she just got one name, like Cher. Crazy Mike, by the way, said name her Doxanne. But anyway.
Oh, that's actually pretty good.
Or Betty Docker. I'm gonna go with Doxanne, I apologize.
No, that's fine. I actually prefer that.
Alright, so I'm gonna read to you in my best possible 50 Shades of Grey voice. And we're gonna do a little choose your own adventure time, so settle up. Northern Line Live,
Doc
erotic
Johnson.
story time starts now. The moment you stepped on the campus of Mountain State College, nestled in the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Carolina, hey Josh, there you go. You knew you were meant to be there. Every walkway was tree-lined. The expanses of grass were green and lush. The stone buildings of the campus felt warm and inviting, probably like something else we'll find out about later. And everyone was so friendly. With the golden sun warming your golden sun, not golden scum,
Golden scum?
warming your skin, you could imagine in between class naps on the capitalized L lawn, using your backpack as a pillow, hazing in and out of the sleep as you watch the hippies in their handmade corduroy pants wrestling with their dogs, hotly debating your teachers and classmates about literary theories, sitting on large flat rocks along bubbling brooks, eating cheese and drinking wine. Life would be good here. That is a terrible.
That is exactly like college.
Doing Jager bombs and beer bongs and then throwing up and falling asleep in it. You were not wrong.
Michael
Your
Caine.
first 3 years at Mountain State College were exactly that. A beautiful breeze, even when the magical snowy winters arrived. Always early, always cold, harsh, and sometimes icy. You just bundled up, found a fireplace and a good book or a cute boy, and enjoyed your safe. The place was positively enchanting. Sure, there were reports of strange happenings and weird disappearances, but you yourself never witnessed anything too far out of the ordinary. You just chalked it up to a superstitious student body and apparently a very suspect police force, and just moved on.
Read it in Michael Caine.
So here you stand at the first day of your senior year. You've been back for a few days and finally all the box... I can't do it for that long either.
That was so good.
That was pretty good.
Alright, so here we go. Tomorrow's the first day of classes. The last first day of school ever. Unless you do a master's or something, I guess. It's the last first day of school ever, and your first decision is to pick your major, which seems a little incongruent to me, but...
Whoa.
You usually figure that out a little bit earlier than senior year of college, but...
Yeah.
You have a little flutter of excitement in your stomach, just like you always do the day before the first day of school. You love learning and interacting with your teachers and classmates. This year, as a senior, you're really anxious to delve into your major. Josh, why don't you tell me, which major did we choose? Theater, with a flair for the dramatic, you're poised to take the school and eventually the world by storm. Interdisciplinary studies, mixed martial arts, and Eastern philosophy. You designed your own major, a mix of mixed martial arts and Eastern philosophy with a dash of dance. Or
Yes.
you could just drop out of school, move to Chicago, and start writing your book.
That one.
You want to drop out of school.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure this is the textbook choose your own adventure, like just why'd you even open the book
just
option.
lost.
Yeah. That was
Man,
fun.
we built it up and everything, and she's just immediately quitting.
Yeah, fuck it.
I always loved school. That's why I quit it on the first day of my senior year. All right. So she's in Chicago. One afternoon, you're on the L to meet up with some friends to take in an avant-garde performance art piece. You're completely engrossed in your knitting, and you're at the very end of binding off a scarf. You've been tinkering with designing patterns, and this one is your finest creation. It is by far the coolest scarf you've made yet. Good fucking job. As you bind off the last stitch, a tall man with salt and pepper hair and thick black glasses sitting near you stands up and starts frantically looking around. His movements catch your attention, and you watch him for a moment as he methodically searches the seats. "Can I help you?" you ask. He looks up at you, surprised that someone spoke to him. "I lost my scarf," he says in a pitiful voice. That voice! You know that voice! And you cannot believe your luck. You're talking to the modern American storytelling pioneer and indie hipster idol host of This Americano Life, Ira Glass. So, I guess we find his scarf for him. And then he asks us, what's our story? So we tell him about moving to Chicago from Lily Valley, and then we're actually working on a book about what a strange place it is and the people who live there. Their personal stories are so interesting and have such unexpected twists. Ira is enthralled with your story, which is especially amazing since he's pretty much the king of storytelling, in case you didn't know. "I absolutely can't wait to read it," he thinks for a moment, then says, "I think I'd like to publish this." Which probably means that he is perhaps the worst businessman of all time.
He's this king of storytelling, though.
He's just trying to get in our pants.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's
Fox is
exactly what's
here.
supposed to happen. Oh, finally. Alright, so we resolve to turn around and go straight home to finish writing our book. A year later, your book, Peaks and Valleys in Lily Valley, has been on the New York Times bestseller list for 6 weeks in a row. You're having celebratory drinks with Ira Glass and your new friends, gritty author Chucky Palahniuk, screenwriter-director Jennifer Eastfeld, comedian-writer Kristen Wagg, and writer-producer sci-fi goddess Jane Espersen to talk about how to handle the film rights to your story, as well as the options for a sequel. They all keep telling you how fabulous you are and that you're the new voice of a generation. The end.
Exactly.
Josh, you
Kristen
just
Wagg.
you won the
Drop out of
game.
school, bitches, you win.
You dropped out of school, immediately wrote... First off, Peaks and Valleys in Lily Valley sounds like the worst title for a book of all time.
It's a teen comedy.
It does. It sounds like fucking Sweet Valley High or something.
Yeah.
But, you know, I guess we're talking to some sci-fi goddess about how we're going to turn this riveting space-age tale into a movie and a sequel. In any case.
I would talk to the king of storytelling for that. But
Yeah, Ira Glass. All right, so we're going to do this again because Josh just broke the game.
I won. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's
without
it. You
doubt,
took the
just won
road
this
less
book.
traveled, man. And it worked out really well for
I think
you.
he saved everyone time. I mean, honestly, that was the fastest way to get through the whole thing.
It was. So let's skip by here. We'll still be Michael L. Fox. You have a penchant for coming up with silly names. What's a silly name for a lady?
Jessica.
Wow.
Can we ban you
Can't
from
put me
the
on
chat?
spot. Silly name, Shaniqua. Go with Shaniqua.
That's just racist.
Why is that a silly name?
Yeah.
Not racist. It's a silly name. I don't
Wow.
care what race you are.
Making a
Shaniqua.
big stand here on the Northern Ireland Live Super Show, learning a lot of stuff I didn't know about you.
What does it even mean? Shaniqua.
What? Give me a real funny name. Something a 13-year-old
Okay,
would laugh
a real
at.
funny name. Boo Boo Kitty Fuck.
I'm gonna go with Boob Face.
Face is not as good as Boo Boo Kitty Fuck.
You're appropriating things from other media. I don't appreciate it. So we're gonna go back to where we
yes.
were earlier.
I really kind of am curious how the mixed martial arts are going to factor into her love life, so let's see that.
Dude, it's like being at a fucking like frozen yogurt place or something. You just make your own major apparently.
Yeah.
Out of whatever you want. Krav Maga, judo, parkour, gymnastics, ballet, belly dance, baseball, and yoga.
Parkour is
Parkour.
martial arts.
Parkour and belly dance.
Capoeira is like martial arts that almost is like dancing, but
All right, our story returns. Your friends like to tease you about majoring in gym and parkour and belly dance, but they don't realize what kind of education you've gotten at this school. You've become a master at fencing, a state champion swimmer, cross-country runner, practically double-jointed from all the yoga that you do, and a world champion docker. As a senior, you're starting off your semester with a killer internship. You applied for so many, you didn't exactly remember actually applying for this one. Again, the mark of a fantastic student. But when you read the description in your acceptance letter, you knew you hit the jackpot. Your advisor is Niles Higginbotham. Not only is he a super famous personal trainer to the stars, but he's also gorgeous and British. Hear that, UK audience? That one's for you guys. He can set you up with your own successful business as soon as you graduate. You've been angling for an opportunity like this since first day of freshman year. Ambitious. You've been angling to own your own business since the first day of freshman year. But anyway, basically your friends join you and they say, hey, instead of like going to your internship, why don't you get shithouse drunk with us tonight? So that's basically your choice here. You spend enough nights alone in your room doing the responsible thing. This is your last year of college. Blow off getting extra rest before the first day of your internship and go out and have a good time while you're still young. Or, do you feel like if you go out, you'll sleep through your first internship meeting and blow off all your hard work, you'd better stay home. Michael A. L. Fox, do you have an answer?
So I was reading up about the Kardashians. What's the question? I would absolutely go out drinking.
All right.
Because it depends. Maybe you're going out drinking with the people who give you the job.
Is this an M. Night Shyamalan movie?
It could be.
But now we're introduced to our first possible love interest. So this is the bartender. The tall, muscular man turns to face the three of you, and your heart stops beating because he is a goddamn demented wizard. He is absolutely gorgeous, with dark hair, warm chocolate brown eyes, and perfect skin. Built like a quarterback and dressed like a jeans model, which, let's be honest, I guess he's wearing jeans? That's what that means? He's dressed like a... Maybe he doesn't have his shirt on? I don't know. This guy is pretty much your dream guy. Your eyes lock as he walks over. Can I help you? He asks Cindy, his eyes not moving from yours. Yes, can we get 3 vodka martinis, please? Up and extra dirty, Alyssa pipes up, smiling seductively at him.
I have a question.
Yes.
He says, "Can a guy help you?" He asks Cindy, but his eyes not moving from yours.
Yeah.
Wouldn't he? How can you differentiate that? If his eyes looking at me, I would assume that he's asking me the question, not Cindy. Fuck Cindy.
Nothing about what he just did there is talking to Cindy.
Maybe he set up... He's a wizard, man, so he set up like a decoy clone or something to talk to them.
He's a wizard.
He nods once, and as he turns, you begin to breathe again. You hadn't realized you were holding your breath. Maybe that's why he's looking at you. He's concerned.
He's worried.
I heard he was hot, but holy cow! Break me off a piece of that and swirl it in butter. Cindy is always coming up with the weirdest phrases. You're unable to speak, so you just smile weakly in her general direction. Apparently, if you're Cindy, nobody pays you any attention at all. You smile weakly in her general direction. The bartender brings back the drinks, and he sets them on napkins in front of the three of you. He gives you a small, sexy smile as he turns away. You pick up your glass and realize there's writing on the napkin. It has a name, Royce, and a telephone number on it. Maybe he's just a car salesman. Your heart starts beating again, and your pulse races, so it's pretty much just, like, up and down, like...
You stopped beating?
It stops beating, and then it races again. You should seriously hope this guy's a cardiologist. The bartender's head... Okay, I love this line. So you get his number, and then the bartender's head snaps up like he smells something delicious, and he looks at you again. Thank God you're sitting
what
down,
The Rock is cooking.
because you're weak in the knees. Alyssa gasps loudly. Is that his number? You nod, down your drink, and tuck the napkin in your bag. Cindy giggles and downs her own drink. Why doesn't anybody ever pay me any attention? God, I'm gonna die alone and penniless. That's right, girl. Let's party like a pack of wild dogs. I didn't make that line up. Then she gets up on her knees, on her bar stool, and yells, "Woo! Next drink is on me in honor of my new tattoo." She proudly points to the star tattoo on her wrist. The man sitting next to Cindy looks up at her, tilting his head. "Well, hello there," he purrs. "I'm Benjamin." How do you purr like a hello? pretty good. You're surprised that none of you have noticed him until this moment. He rivals Royce in the looks department, but he's much older and sexy in a Harrison Ford without the earring kind of way. Alyssa motions to the bartender.
Wait, what?
He's sexy in a Harrison Ford without the earring kind of way.
When does Harrison Ford wear an earring?
He must have had an earring at some point. Fuck it, put it in the book.
I think they're trying to
guys
say
never
he's
watched
always
Star Trek.
sexy, but when he wears the earring, he's not sexy, so we're not going to talk about that part.
Alyssa motions to the bartender. Another round! Cindy sloppily turns towards him, almost falling off her stool. She is so attractive and graceful. Hi, she slurs to her new neighbor, so it's like, hi. I'm Shindy. I didn't even make that part up. I'm Shindy.
Shit, I was Drunken.
Shindy impressions so far not very good.
Oh,
Liquor
no.
always hits her hard. I have a feeling that Benjamin's gonna hit her hard a little later. He takes her hand and helps her down, at the same time inspecting her arm. That is a very alluring tattoo. It's a star. Where did you get your work done? And now you've lost Cindy to a very deep conversation with this smoking stranger. Thankfully, your friends are hot enough to get away with being as obnoxious as they are. At least they're never boring. So Royce has brought back 4 shots. Which, by the way, if he's drinking at the bar that he works at, that's like really unprofessional. But
Yeah.
every time you do shots, things get wild. One shot is usually fine, but the second, third, fourth, and fifth are often too quick to follow, and you've been known to wake up in Mexico. Okay, that only happened one time, and it's a great story. But seriously, even waking up in Mexico once is enough. So, I'm sorry to my Mexican viewers out there who have probably done that, 3,000 times in their lives at least. I didn't write it. So, here's our choice. Do you throw caution to the wind and take a shot? Or do we do the responsible thing and go home? It's up to you, Josh.
Yeah, obviously we take the shot.
You're a smart man. You only live once.
You
What the
only
hell
live
you
once,
say
YOLO.
you say as you throw your hair back and pick up the small glass. Exactly, Royce says, grinning at you. You toss back the brown liquid in one swallow. Can we just rewind and say that sentence
Wow.
again one more time? You toss back the brown liquid in one swallow. And the 4 of you slam the glasses on the bar at the same time. Royce picks up the bottle and pours another round because he is not worried about unemployment or possibly coming across as a total creep. After the second shot, the bartender leans against the bar, which makes perfect sense, actually. We haven't been introduced. I'm Royce, and I see you've met my friend Benjamin. He's a very important television producer. The hunky guy who's been talking to Cindy looks up and smiles at you and Alyssa. He exchanges a meaningful glance at Royce and what looks like a nod. Now, does this not sound like these guys are getting ready to date rape us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He,
Definitely.
he exchanges a meaningful glance with Royce and what looks like a nod. This is Cindy
That's
and
them
Alyssa.
going, all right, here we go. We're ready to go.
Yeah. They're actually just saying, like, thank God we cleaned our apartment this afternoon. This is Cindy and Alyssa. You nod to your right, then your left. Royce reaches for your hand, and you feel an electric current before he even touches you. I told you he was a wizard. And you are... Boob face, you whisper. That's beautiful, he murmurs. You're beautiful. You mentally smack yourself. Damn shots. Royce just smiles again and pours another round. Before you know it, the bar is empty, and the waitstaff is putting chairs on top of tables. Alyssa's nearly asleep with her head on the bar, and Cindy's slow dancing with Benjamin in front of the jukebox. You giggle at your friends as Royce lifts your hand off the bar, softly kissing the tips of your fingers. What a weird man. So, I'm off work in about 10 minutes. Do you want to come over and hang out for a while? Now, you don't normally go home with strangers, but this man is gorgeous. His touch is electric. You hazily remember talking to him enough to think you have a lot in common, and you're drunk. Do you decide you can't resist and agree to go home with Royce? Turn to page 11. Or do you want to go home with your friends? You can take your time getting to know Royce. Nick, this one's up to you.
You're already drunk. I mean, it's the way it goes. You
Go
just
hot and heavy, Nick.
you got to go in.
All right. Well, he's got to
Do
go,
it.
and we're turning to page
He's
11.
going in.
Go in.
Royce locks the front door to the bar behind you. It's very dark outside, and you're still a bit unsteady. Stay safe, ladies. So you're relieved when he takes your hand. I'm just a short walk this way. You lean in close to him. He inhales sharply, puts his arm around you, and murmurs, "Boob face." Got started. Hey, we're back. We're live. YouTube, live and in color, maybe. I'm just making sure the stream still works because sometimes it doesn't.
So what happened to Boob Face?
All right, so Blueface died. You guys didn't see it? Like, the stream died for me right as I said the end. But basically, Royce turns out to be a vampire who just eats her.
It's just really sad. Like, yeah, I mean, sexually, hopefully first. Did he at least get her off before he killed her?
No, he just bit her neck and sucked all her blood out and she died.
Yeah, she was like a college student, man. She had a whole life ahead
That's
of her.
what happens, man. You make one bad mistake and your whole life gets turned upside down.
Yo.
Oh, look who
Hey.
decided to join
Dude,
us.
what
I was
happened
gonna...
to Boob Face?
She died, man.
Fuck, dude. This is gonna stress me out now, man. That
No,
messed me
seriously,
up.
she died.
Yeah,
Did
she
really?
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't think I believe you. This is gonna ruins my whole life.
You go
Like
back,
those-
watch the stream in 360p, because apparently that's the only resolution it'll update at. And then
144p
take a
is
magnifying glass and read the fucking page.
Dude, I don't know. I don't think I can.
You don't think you
I'm
can
just
read?
gonna pretend like her and the
Alright.
jeans model. They went back to her place and just took a nap.
Lived
Go
happily
back to
ever
his
after,
place.
yeah.
And then she went to her new job the next day, and everything went perfect.
Yeah, she owned her
That's
own
so
business.
sad.
I know, man. She had so much to live for.
Well, in
not
her own
much.
defense, or no, sorry, the opposite. To put some like self-responsibility on that girl, you are in the opening paragraph. She's like, "Well, there have been strange disappearances, but I think that's just people being superstitious."
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember
Well,
that.
shouldn't she be expected to know there's fucking vampires, though?
Well,
I
she
mean,
should be
really?
expected. They're like, "Well, it has been idyllic, except for all those murders the police are reporting, but I don't believe that
Right.
those really exist."
Yeah.
Well, it's like you were saying, like it sounded like a rape scene. I'm like, oh my god, it kind of does. Like, what kind of dating sim has rape scenes?
I wasn't really like just trying to get cheap humor out of that. There were some rapey
No,
elements in that story.
I agreed. I was like, this is. I don't know if I want to watch Northern Lions stream. Man.
Doesn't
Oh,
make
I
it
just got a tweet from Boopface. Hey, Boopface.
Boom face.
She's alive.
That's what I named my character in Jurassic Heart.
Boob face.
Boop face.
So I
We're
guess we're
gonna
just.
call it something else way worse, right? And then we change
It was.
You
we
wanted
tried
to call her
it
Pussy Lips.
Triceratits, but we
Oh
couldn't
yeah,
call
that
it
was not bad. Actually.
Triceratits.
That was Green's idea, I think.